My name is Kelly Dill with Off the Beaded Path, and this is your Must Know Monday for Monday, February the 11th, 2019. The month of February's birthstone is amethyst, so I wanted to come up with a really quick and easy project you could give someone who has the birthday in February. So to make our project today, which is going to be a really cute pair of earrings, you're going to need two 10mm Rivolis. Now, a little side note here about your Rivolis. Someplace that you see them, they may say that they are an SS47 size. Okay, so you can either see the SS47 or 10mm. Either way, they're the same size, and that's what you're going to want to use. You're going to need two. You're going to need 1 gram of a size 11 delica bead, 1 gram of a size 15 seed bead. Now, your size 15 seed beads, it's best to use Miyuki. You can use Toho, but you're not going to get as tight of an encasement for that. You're also going to need 12 4mm Bicones, and besides that, those are your materials. So other than that, you are going to need some ear hooks, and the color and shape will depend on you. You are going to need a size 12 beading needle, and you're going to need some thread. For this project, I have tested 6-pound Fireline, I have tested 1G KO thread, and I have tested a brand new thread. It's called Dura thread. They actually sent this to me as a sample to try. I've had some customers who have commented back and they really don't like it, but they tried one piece with it. I've tried multiple pieces now with this Dura thread, and I like it. To me, it's a lot like your 1G or your KO thread. It's supposed to be non-abrasive or abrasive resistant, so it's supposed to not cut when you use crystals. And so far, that's been the case. It's braided, so you have to be careful because it can split on the ends. That has been the biggest drawback of this that the customers who have tried it out have let me know, is the split when you're trying to thread your needle. It's really affordable. I ordered some last week, so hopefully by the time this video comes out, we will have it on our website. If not, we will have it soon. But it comes in black and white. So brand new thread. Give it a try. I always say, to me, it takes about 6 to 8 projects trying a actual thread to know if I'm gonna like it or not. So just, if you try it, give it time to see if you're gonna like it. Don't use it one time and say, I hate it and I'm never gonna use it again. Give it time and try a new product. So besides that, that's really all that you're gonna need. I don't really suggest you go over a 6-pound Fireline for the project if you are going to use Fireline. So I'm going to show you quite a few color samples that I did for this project. The main color sample will be the amethyst color because that is February's birthstone, but of course, you can make these for anybody at any time of year. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and start with my needle threaded on 1 yard of thread. And it's really not even going to take that much to do one earring, but to me, that's a comfortable piece to start with. So go ahead and get your materials together and let's get started. So these are the earrings that I want to show you how to make today. They're very easy and simple to make, and they take very few beads, as you can see. So this is the amethyst color, and it has the nickel 15s and 11s around it. And I've done another version of the amethyst color that I really like, especially for fall. Let me see here. Here we go. See if I can get it in a little bit better. This one has a green iris 11 delica and the green iris in the 15s with the amethyst. So it gives it a totally different look, as you can see, to the piece, but they are the exact same design. So that's another one with the amethyst there. I want to show you, here is one with pinks. Next month, March's color is aquamarine. So here is a really pretty version in the aquamarine colors. Here's a version in red. This is the light cyan here. And then here's another version in a brown that I really, really liked. This was the Light Colorado Topaz. So you can see that every one of the little samples gives you a really fun, pretty earring when you start to do it. So actually for today's sample, I'm going to be doing this Crystal AB with the black diamond double AB here for my Bicones. So to start off, I have my size 11 Delica and my size 15 nickel. So this is palladium and nickel here for my 15. So I'm going to start out, my first round is going to be 28 delicas. Okay, and once you get those 28 beads, go ahead and double count the 28 beads to make sure you've got it. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, and 28. So I have my 28 delica beads here. I'm going to let these drop down, and leaving a short tail, I'm going to go back through all 28 beads again. So I'm just going to go straight back up through. Okay. And pull that through. And then I'm not going to tie it together or anything like that. I'm just going to continue on through the first delica that I added in the round. And pull both those threads, so I have a tail thread coming out of one side and my working thread now coming out of the other side. So now we're going to be doing a row of peyote using our size 11 delicas. So we'll pick up one delica. I'm coming out of a delica, I'm going to skip a delica and go through a delica. Now the good thing about this encasement is you can leave these laying flat just like I've got here. So I'm going to pick up one delica, I'm coming out of this one, I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to go through one. And as you work, you can leave them laying flat just as I have them here. So a delica, pick up one, skip one, go through one. And we're going to do this all the way around, just picking up a delica, skipping a delica, and going through a delica. So your new delica that you are adding is going to be sitting right outside of the one that you skipped. So continue to work and add your delicas in this row. So once you've gone around and you get back to the beginning here, I have one delica left to add. So I'm going to skip one and go through one. So I know that I am there at the beginning when I get back to my tail. So I'm going to go through the last delica here for my row, just like we normally would. But now I have to do my step up. So to do my step up, that simply means I'm going to go through the bead that I first added in this round. So it's going to be the one right here to the outside. So I'm just going to take my needle and go right through that one delica bead. Now that's all the rows of delicas that we're going to put on. Now we're going to be using our 15s. So I'm going to pick up one size 15 seed bead, and I'm going to go through the next delica sticking up here on this outer edge. You can do the inner edge too, but I just like to do the outer. So pick up one delica, go through the next 11 sticking up, or I'm sorry, you're picking up a 15, going through the next delica sticking up. And we're going to do this all the way around. Now as you work, you want to pull the thread tight, because what's going to start happening is it's going to start pulling it into a dome shape. You can see already how it's building a wall almost on that one side, and that's what you want. So you're just going to continue picking up a 15 and going through the next delica sticking up. And we're going to do this all the way around. Okay, so I have got all of my little 15s here added in the top except for my last one. And how I know I'm to that last 15 is because right here is the tail thread where I started the piece. So I pick up the 15 and I'm going to go through the last delica here on the row. Now that I have that out of the way, you can see I'm coming out of the delica here. So now I have to step up. So I have to go through the bead, that first 15 that I added in the round, which is going to be that 15 right there next to that delica. So we're going to do one more round of 15s. So this time, and I'm keeping it tight as I work, this time I pick up a 15 and I'm going to go through the next 15 that's sticking up. So we're not going through any delicas in this round. We're only doing the 15s. So just picking up a 15 and going through the next 15 in the round. Okay, and we're going to do this all the way around. And again, we want to pull it tight because it'll really be cupping and doming at this point. And you can see what it's doing there. It's really pulling in now. So I'm going to go all the way around doing just like this. Alright, so now I've gone all the way around and you can see that it's really cupped up now. So what you want to do, I'm coming out of the last 15 for my row and I'm going to stitch through to come out of any of the delicas that are sticking up on this other side. So I'm just going to go through my beads here kind of at a diagonal so that you will not see the thread. And I am coming out of one of those delicas that is sticking up. Now we're going to put our Rivoli in face up. So to put our stone in, we're going to hold it face up. Down at the bottom is where we did our 2 rows of 15s, and I'm going to put that stone again in face up so that I can see the color. We're coming out of a delica that's sticking up here, and I'm going to pick up a 15 and I'm going to go through the next delica sticking up and pull. And what happens is you'll see it pulled that 15 down over the stone. So again, I'm coming out of a delica, I'm going to pick up a 15 and I'm going to come through the next delica here. And we're going to go all the way around, picking up a 15 and just going through the next delica. And you want to pull this tight so that these 15s lay down over your Rivoli. So once you've gone all the way around, you'll want to go around again in the circle and reinforce. So to reinforce, you literally go through the 15s and the 11s all the way around, pulling the thread tight so that it really holds that encasement in place. Now, if you look on the sides here, and I'm going to try to see, there we go. Okay, if you look at the sides of your piece, you'll see you have a single bead delica row and 2 delicas, and then a single delica, and then 2 delicas, and then a single delica, and then 2 delicas. So you want to stitch to come out of a single bead delica row, which I have done here. Okay, so you see there's 2 above it, and then 1, and then 2. Okay, so a single bead row. You're going to pick up a 4mm, a 15, and a 4mm. Okay, we're going to find those single bead delica rows again. So I'm coming out of 1, then I have a row of 2, and then 1, and 2, and then 1. So I'm going to skip 1 single bead delica row, and I'm going to go through the next single bead delica row. So I'm going to hold this here for a minute so you can kind of see where we're at and pull this through. Okay, and you'll see what happens there. So I'm going to do this again. I'm going to pick up a 4mm, a 15, and a 4mm. Okay, I am coming out of a single bead delica row here, then a row of 2 and a single, and then a row of 2 and a single. So I'm skipping a single row here and then going through the next single row. I'll do it one more time. I'm going to pick up a 4mm, a 15, and a 4mm. Okay, I'm coming out of a single bead delica row. I've got a row of 2 and a single row, so I'm going to skip the single row. Then I have a row of 2 and a single row, so I'm going to go through that second single one. So we skip a single row and go through the next single row, so that our piece will look like this when we do that. Now we have to stitch through our outer beads here to come out of a single delica bead row right here that is above the center set of bicones. So it's this one right here sticking up. So to do that, I literally am just going to zigzag my way through. If you can get through 2 beads at one time, you can do that. If you choose to use a size 10 needle, that's going to be a little bit harder. And you really have to be careful if you're using matte finish beads, because those bust easy. So if you try to go through multiple beads at one time, you may bust the beads. So be very careful where that is concerned. All right. So I'm coming out of a single bead delica row that is directly above my center 4mm. So I'm going to pick up 6 15s. I'm going to come back through the same bead so that it makes a circle. You see how it makes that little loop there? So we want to go through those beads again. So I'm not adding anything. I'm just going through all 6 of those beads once more. And then back through that delicate bead again. So when you look at it, if it's got a little funky hole like this and you want to fix that, you can get your, if I can get it out of my drawer here, you can get your tulip awl and you can poke it right in there, or you can use around those pair of pliers, and that will make your nice perfect little circle again there for you. So now I'm going to stitch through my beads until I come out of this middle 15 here in between this middle set of 4mm. So once you come out of that 15, now we are going to add 3 more 15s. We want to make a little peacoat like we did here at the bottom of this one. So we have our 3 15s. Coming out of the 15, we're going to come right back through that same bead so that it makes a circle. Now when you add those 15s, what's going to happen is they're going to lay kind of funky like this one is. So we want to reinforce it several times. And you want to go through 1 bead at a time and pull the thread the direction that the thread would be coming out of the bead. So like this one's going to be straight up like that. Okay, and then go through this one. If you go through them a few beads at a time, you're not really helping to keep the shape. So go through them 1 bead at a time, and I go through it multiple times. This reinforces it, plus it stiffens it up so it'll keep that nice shape that you want it to keep here on the end. So once you've reinforced it a few times and you don't want to pop that little 15 in between your bicones, so I've reinforced it as many times as I can, and you can see I have that nice little right angle weave box here. So now I'm going to stitch through some of my beads. So I'm going to go through the 4mm. I'm going to go through the delica there between those 4s, through the 4mm, through the 15, and the 4mm. Now you can trim off this thread, or you can tie it, either one, whichever you prefer. And then all we have to do is add our ear hooks to our little hoops here at the top, and then we will have a beautiful pair of earrings. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to make these fun new burst-on earrings for February. We do have a 6-page written pattern on our website that we have for sale as an instant download, which means it will instantly download once you pay the cost of the pattern, or we also sell it as a printed pattern, which means we will actually print this off and mail it to your home. So just be aware of the differences as you look at the descriptions for your patterns. We also have kits available today for the amethyst, the pink, the aquamarine, and then the crystal AB with the double AB black diamond. If you want to know all of the colors that I used on the projects, we actually have those listed on the pattern. So we have all the color pictures as well as the color beads that I used in those patterns. So be sure to continue to watch this video to see the winners from a few weeks ago. We did a giveaway for our ABC little letter beads, so be sure to pay attention here to the end of the video to see those winners. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.